A synopsis of Chapter 10 of Sun Tzu's The Art of War, Terrain. Hello everyone and welcome to the Blank Slates 101. In this series we're exploring Sun Tzu's The Art of War, breaking it down chapter by chapter to uncover the timeless strategies and insights that continue to influence the world today. Chapter 10 of The Art of War discusses 6 kinds of terrain that a general must distinguish. 10.1. These are accessible ground which can be freely traversed by both sides. 10.2. Entangling ground which is easy to abandon but hard to reoccupy. 10.4. Temporizing ground where neither side gains from making the first move. 10.6. Narrow passes which can be occupied and garrisoned. 10.8. Precipitous heights where the higher ground provides an advantage. 10.10. Positions at a great distance from the enemy, where provoking a battle is not easy, and fighting is disadvantageous. 10.1.12. Sun Tzu outlines specific strategies for engaging in each of these types of terrain. On accessible ground, one should occupy the raised and sunny spots and carefully guard the supply lines. 10.3. On entangling ground, one may sally forth to defeat an unprepared enemy, but must not engage if the enemy is prepared, because retreat will be impossible. 10.5. On temporizing ground, one should not stir, but rather retreat to entice the enemy, and then attack when part of the enemy has moved out. 10.7. For narrow passes, one should occupy them first, garrison them, and await the enemy. If the enemy occupies first, do not attack unless it is weakly garrisoned. 10.8-9. For precipitous heights, one should occupy the raised and sunny spots first. If the enemy occupies first, do not follow, but retreat to entice them away. 10.10-11. If at a great distance from the enemy, and both sides are equal in strength, it is best to avoid battle. 10.12. Sun Tzu emphasizes that the general must carefully study these principles. 10.13. Sun Tzu also identifies 6 calamities that can befall an army, arising from the general's faults rather than natural causes. 10.14. These are flight, insubordination, collapse, ruin, disorganization, and rout. 10.14. Flight occurs when a smaller force is hurled against a much larger one. 10.15. Insubordination results when the common soldiers are too strong and the officers too weak. 10.16. Collapse happens when the officers are too strong and the soldiers are too weak. 10.16. Ruin occurs when higher officers are insubordinate and engage the enemy without the commander's permission. 10.17. Disorganization results when the general is weak and without authority, orders are unclear, and the ranks are formed haphazardly. 10.18. Rout occurs when a general, unable to estimate the enemy's strength, allows an inferior force to engage a superior one, or neglects to place picked soldiers in the front ranks. 10.19. He states that these 6 ways of courting defeat must be carefully noted. 10.20. Sun Tzu notes that the natural formation of the country is the soldier's best ally, but a great general must also be able to estimate the adversary, control the forces of victory, and calculate difficulties, dangers, and distances. 10.21. A general who knows and practices these principles will win, and one who does not will be defeated. 10.22. If fighting will result in victory, then one must fight even if the ruler forbids it. If fighting will not result in victory, then one must not fight even at the ruler's bidding. 10.23. A general who advances without coveting fame and retreats without fearing disgrace, seeking only to protect his country and serve his sovereign, is a jewel of the kingdom. 10.24. Soldiers must be regarded as children or beloved sons who will follow the general even to death. 10.25. However, if a general is indulgent, unable to make his authority felt, kind-hearted but unable to enforce his commands, and incapable of quelling disorder, then the soldiers are like spoiled children, useless for practical purposes. 10.26. Sun Tzu explains that if one knows that his own men are in a condition to attack, but is unaware that the enemy is not open to attack, one has only gone halfway towards victory. 10.27. Similarly, if one knows that the enemy is open to attack, but is unaware that one's own men are not in condition to attack, victory is only halfway achieved. 10.28. If one knows both the enemy is open to attack and one's own men are in a condition to attack, but does not consider the nature of the ground, then victory is also only halfway. 10.29. The experienced soldier, once in motion, is never bewildered, and once he has broken camp, he is never at a loss. 10.30. He concludes with the saying, If you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and know earth, you may make your victory complete. 1031. In conclusion, Chapter 10 of Sun Tzu's The Art of War emphasizes the importance of understanding the different types of terrain and how they affect military strategy. It stresses the significance of a general's ability to assess the situation, make informed decisions, and understand not only the enemy but also his own troops and the environment. The chapter underlines that success is not just about force, but also about knowledge, preparation, and the ability to act decisively in accordance with the circumstances. Every great journey begins with a blank slate. Keep sharpening your mind, and I'll catch you next time on the Blank Slates 101.